say, put a wind farm in Madison and Sugar Creek Township and come before this council and ask for us to designate an ERA, I'll be glad to review and talk to the people that live in that area and see if I think it's a good idea, or a single property, or whatever. I'm not saying that ERAs are not a usable, a good thing. Just saying that in this case, I think it was a bad plan. And I would like to see it, us rescind this and put this property back more in the hands of the people that live there, because it's an unfair designation. You know, I've got all the documents here if anybody wants to see the whole process of how it happened, how it came down. Here's the resolution by the council declaring the ERA. And I'll just read it very fast because I want to say that we're going to make a move to rescind this. It says,
Mark,
yes,
we have to have a public hearing before we can do anything.
right, but we can have a motion to hold a public hearing, right?
Right.
Right, okay.
And,
So, here's, for the council to know, here's what it says. Whereas Sugar Creek Wind has filed an application, personal property and real estate tax abatement related to the construction of wind farms in Madison and Sugar Creek Township in Indiana. And whereas prior consideration to the request from Sugar Creek Wind for tax abatement, the council has studied certain areas of Madison and Sugar Creek Township in order to determine whether these areas are economic revitalization areas, as defined by Indiana Code 61121. And whereas after studying these areas, specifically all of Madison Township except for the town of Linden and all of Sugar Creek Township, the council now finds that these areas have become undesirable for, you know the verbiage, and whereas the council further finds that these areas would benefit from the economic development of a revitalization facilitated by property tax abatements which would be available if these designated areas became an economic revitalization area. And whereas the council further finds that the interest of Sugar Creek Wind is indicative of substantial economic development which could be attracted to these areas if the designation were approved. So I would make a motion that we set a date for a public hearing to rescind resolution 2013-9 or 2013-12. They're both basically the same. I think 2013. Let's say we were going to rescind both resolution 2013-9 and 2013-12.
Are you going to put a date to that?
What's that?
Are you going to put a date to that?
If it's okay with this council, I would like to put a date to that of.
Our next meeting is December 11th.
What's that?
Our next meeting is December 11th.
Can we do it at our meeting?
If that gives enough legal notice to everybody concerned to
I
do
think
that.
from what I've studied that does give enough time.
Okay.
So I would make a motion that we hold this public hearing at our next council meeting on December the 11th.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion and a second. Any other questions or comments on all this?
Are we making this motion just to have a meeting?
The public hearing.
Actually rescind this?
No, just to get the
This is
process
just a
started.
Public hearing meeting, to make sure we have township trustees at this meeting and stuff, and those.
They have notice to be here and have a chance that we can review what they say. And
Do you want to add that to your motion, Mark, that they would be notified?
I think that, yes, I'll add that to my motion, that the township trustees will be notified, and I would also like to say that we would, in a different fashion than normal, we would notify the citizens that live in these two townships. I think that was part of the problem.
Okay. Is that part of your motion?
That's part of the motion.
Okay.
Wait.
I don't know how you would notify
Yeah.
other citizens.
Uh,
We don't have Trump's magic button where we.
No.
Yeah, we don't have it yet.
I thought I changed that motion to say that we better advertise this hearing.
Okay, that's pretty wide open, how you better advertise. I mean, I'm for you, I want everybody to know about it, that needs to know about it and wants to comment on it, but I don't know how we would go about that. We have the press right now.
I see the situation. Let me retract that. Let me retract the advertising part of that motion.
Okay, can I read back what we have now? You move to set the date of a public hearing to rescind resolutions 2013-9 and 2013-12 on December 11th. Notifying township trustees before meeting. That's what I have.
Let's just say that, make sure that it is advertised.
Yeah.
Okay, then we might need to discuss a location. Because if it's a public hearing, then there might be a lot of people showing. I don't know if this room's big enough for everybody that might want to have a say.
I would say I'd say we risk that.
Okay,
I'd say this.
okay.
Terry, I got.
And is that okay with your second?
Yeah,
Mark?
with all the multiple changes.
Okay, go ahead, Greg.
Okay. I think this may, I agree we need to have a meeting and a discussion on it and include as many people as we can get notice to and the township trustees. I still don't like the word that we are having this meeting to actually rescind this. I think a discussion for this, and maybe this be a first discussion on it, because if we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that many people show up, I'm not sure we're not gonna have to have a second meeting before we can make a decision. But I don't like the word in there that we're having this meeting to rescind this as much as we are, it's a meeting to discuss with the townships.
I would say maybe a better word would be review.
I think today is the meeting where we're discussing it, and December 10th, the 10th, 11th is the day that we will discuss the rescinding.
Okay, while you're just whispering in my ear, review would be a better word to put in your motion, Mark.
To review the ERA, or to review,
I would say to review
I could just.
the necessity, review the necessity of the ERA.
Continuation of the ERA. Continuation by. Just agree with Rob. Just say I agree with Rob.
I barely agree with Rob.
I know.
I will not override the council. So we will hold a hearing to review the ERA. Does that work, Rob?
That's better.
Okay,
Got that, Jim?
Yep.
okay with you, Mark? Okay. Any other questions on this discussion?
Can we read it back?
Sure. Jim?
Mark is moving to set a date to have a public hearing to review the continuation of the ERA set out in resolutions 2013-9 and 2013-12 on December 11th, notifying township trustees before the meeting and advertising the meeting beforehand. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Everybody clear on what they're voting on? All in favor of this motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? I think it's unanimous. 6-0. Item D, I put that on the agenda just in case. After talking to my lawyer, we're going to delay discussing this until probably our December meeting. So, if that's okay with everybody. So I'm going to move to table this until December meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Or any questions or discussions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Do we have any old business? Ms. Auditor?
None that was brought to my attention.
Okay. All right. Now we go to staff elected officials reports. Jim, you got anything?
Nothing really, just real quick to say that the clinic is going, if the employees and the department heads have not seen it, the clinic is going under some changes. Our nurse practitioner, Tricia Stanley, which has been with us since 13 when we opened it, has taken a promotion within the company, so she will be leaving the clinic, but they've already taken steps and included her in hiring her successor, and they assure us that everything will just continue to work as it has and be positive going forward. We are continually evaluating that clinic. It just continues to do more and more and more all the time, and has been a benefit in so many ways that there might be some changes coming down the pipe in the future, but as of now, it continues to go well. And if you guys recall, I think about a year ago, we added we were at 3.5 days, or we were at 4 days. We added an extra day on that Wednesday. Within about 45 days of time of adding that, the schedule went to full capacity. So we're actually getting people into there and less people into the doctors. So when that happens, obviously that's a savings for us in the long run. So any problems with that? Any clinic problems? Anything? Health insurance wise, we've made some big strides in that as well. Reach out to myself or Lori, and if you're having problems, we will get you in contact with the right people. Jen also has some access to that as well. So continuing to see improvements in that as well, so just let us know if there's any problems.
Can I ask a quick question, Jim, while we're on the topic?
Sure.
Are there going to be premium changes for next year's enrollment that you know of?
What was that at the last meeting? Lori's got the figures from the, not in my head, from our last meeting. It was like, I want to say 4 or 5%, maybe at the most, so it's going to be minimal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there may, well, if we could address that and establish those at the commissioner meeting, maybe this coming Monday,
Okay.
because they're wanting to do open enrollment before November ends.
Okay.
So,
Yep. And it is on our agenda. So.
okay,
Yep.
all right.
So, all right. Thanks, Jim. John?
Nothing to address the council with.
Thanks. David? Okay. Rob?
No.
Any words of wisdom? Jennifer, do you have anything else to enlighten us with?
Just a couple of things. I just asked the department heads continue turning in budget reductions for 2018 budgets. I appreciate that the sheriff's office has already done that on several of their line items. And then we will have completed our financial software system conversion. By the next time we have a council meeting, our go-live date in the new software is December 3rd. So just wanted to make you aware of that. They were very aggressive with getting our system converted and rescuing us. So we're pretty pleased with how quickly and wonderfully they've worked with us on this.
No hiccups?
Nope, none yet.
Great. Janet, do you have anything to enlighten us with?
Just let everybody know that today your property taxes are due, so either come see us in the office, or if you want to mail them, make sure they're postmarked today, or you can pay online until midnight tonight, or visit Hoosier Heartland, Tri-County, or First Financial Bank. There's a lot of things.
Okay, thanks. Anybody from the assessor's office here? I don't see anybody. Ryan, do you have anything? I guess I got a question. Did you ever get the body scanner, full body scanner yet, or did we ever discuss how we're paying for that and all that stuff?
We have not.
I know in email exchanges, we said something about leasing a recon that. I hate to pay interest.
I don't have to pay for it, but I think there's certainly something I'd like to discuss.
Okay. Thanks. Karen Douglas, you have anything?
Just huge turnout for the election, appreciative for everybody for help, and look forward to some changes.
And I thank Karen before the meeting for not making Montgomery County like Broward County.
Thank you.
Jennifer Bentley, you got anything? Tom, you have anything else for us? Thanks. Beth, everything okay at the CCC?
Busy as always.
Good. Don't see anybody from the highway department. From cleaning snow through. Let's see, Jim Peck. Brian, do you have anything else for us? Campbell?
We had an exercise, our first big exercise in our new Emergency Operations Center. And we were able to do a Indiana Department of Homeland Security North Regional exercise. At the same time, we did our LEPC hazmat exercise and an AWL exercise with the Board of Animal Health. We did all three exercises simultaneously because our goal was to overwhelm our capabilities, and I think we came out pretty well. So the next thing that comes along, we should be a lot more prepared for.
Good. Good deal. Thanks. Amber, do you have anything more for us?
I don't.
All right.
Thank you.
Barb, do you have anything from probation? No words of wisdom? Organizations, everybody's here for 4-H. Ability services. Oh, I thought you were getting up to the likeness, Greg. Animal Welfare League. Purdue Extension. Soil and Water. Wabash Valley. West Central Solid Waste. Youth Service Bureau. Okay. Did I miss anybody that's elected? Rick, do you have anything?
No, thank you. Just congratulations on the elections with the maintain your seats.
Okay, thanks.
I have nothing.
Mark?
Just very quickly, I would also like to thank the Sheriff's Office for the early reductions. And I think maybe the liaisons to the departments, maybe we should all talk to our departments and remind them that December is next month and we really would like to see some reductions. So I think that would help because they're not all here to hear this today, that we should as liaisons each speak to our designated departments and remind them that if they have any money left over, that it would be nice to see it back in the coffers. I'll elude the committee report from Herbst to Gary, but I think we just about have that down to final nitty gritty, except for the CCC, which we're still working on, trying to get that figured out. But other than that, I think it was a long, hard-fought battle to get that. And I appreciate all the councilmen for following through with what's right for the employees of the county. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Greg?
I don't have anything.
Don?
No, the only thing I have to say is thanks to Karen for all of her work. I know they were really not overwhelmed, but I think they handled the extra 20% voting population pretty well.
Garrett, do you have this week?
No, I think Mark's pretty much said it. The clerks committee, we're pretty well finished up. Answered the questions. The only thing I'd like to ask is a representative, I think you are, on the sewer board. Just because last night I went through Smartsburg and I had to slow down to wait on another vehicle to go by because there was a bunch of black pipe laying right on the edge of the road. Big bum road. So there's something going on out there. Just wondered where that all is. What the sewer board, what they're doing out there. With that sewer.
Is that your report?
That's my report. And my question.
Okay. Yeah, I know, construction has started on the new sewage, district. In-ground piping has been going on. I think Miller Pipeline is, one of the subs for the contractor that's doing the sewage system. We're trying to get the pipe in, obviously, before the ground freezes too deep. I think they're making pretty good progress from my observations. We haven't, it was just reported at our last meeting, sewage board meeting, that, yeah, the construction is underway. Do you have any more reports for us, Lori? I mean, you're kind of involved with it day to day.
No, everything is going right along, from what we're understanding. The construction inspector was out there.
Do we have a report of how much pipe is in the ground, or?
No, but I would expect they'll give us one next Wednesday or next week.
Okay. If you call me after next Wednesday, I can tell you how much pipe's in the ground.
There's a lot of pipe on the ground.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get in. And then did we ever decide, have you ever decided on the water situation, John? Is it going forward also? Haven't started on that yet, but.
Yeah, we actually have to do some work to meet the state, working with American Water right now, their attorney. So I'm just going for
In negotiation.
I mean, yeah, I know that's a big deal, right?
In
Right.
negotiation,
So we won't speak of it publicly.
we don't know much yet.
All right. Does that answer your question, Gary?
Yes.
I mean, there are a couple of lift stations that are gonna have to be built. I doubt they get built this winter. Probably be next spring, would be my guess. Since they have to dig and pour concrete and all that kind of stuff. One at, over the hill on 425 East, and one at the old Elks Lodge. There's gonna be a lift station there in the other end for the gravity flow stuff. But anyway, it's a low pressure system, which means when you flush your stool, it pushes it down the line. So that's the simplest I can put it. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Brings us to claims. Peters Municipal is $2,117.49. And did we find out if this was the final billing for the council for this year, Jen?
Oh, no, I do not know.
Okay. I know we discussed it.
I don't think I asked him, so, sorry. I didn't know I was supposed to. But I think that the transfer that you did earlier is going to cover this, and then you'll have some left over, so.
Okay. Thanks. So I would entertain a motion to pay Peters Municipal Consultants $2,117.49 for all the help they gave us on the budget.
Second.
Who's second?
Second.
Mark Davidson. Any questions on that?
Just Pete.
That's right, I know there's another one there. All right, all in favor of paying Peters, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. And then the low, is it Lau, Korean, yeah, pronounced Lau Associates, $62,610, which would pay our obligation for this year. And this includes all the discounts and everything, right, Jim? And did we ever determine where the money was coming from to pay this, and we've already appropriated all the proper funds?
Are you asking me or the
Yes,
council?
I am. Aren't you paying attention?
Well, that's a council question, but the last time we talked about it, you said it was going to come out of the special appropriations line in the council budget.
Okay. Probably. I don't think we,
Yeah, it was appropriated when you did the budget in 2017.
okay. So that is going to come out of the special appropriations line in the council budget,
Yes.
which started out at $1 million. I think this is the first use of it, so.
And I will be looking for a reduction on that line too.
Look hard. I thought we were gonna throw a big party at the end of the year with the rest of them. Anyway, I had entertained a motion for pay Lau Associates out of that appropriation.
I move that we pay that $62,610 out of, as we planned out of special appropriations.
Okay. Second? Mark, Davidson, second. Any questions or discussions on all this? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Is there any public comment needs to come forward? Yes,
I
Karen?
just have a question. When's the next herbs committee? You guys said you're trying to meet before the end of the year.
I would defer that to the IRB's president.
It'll be sometime.
There.
Have you sent an email in or something to one of them?
Didn't know I needed to. I thought you guys were meeting every quarter, and you said you're gonna have a meeting before the end of the
We
year.
did have a meeting, and we did entertain some questions that we had received. I don't know.
The committee meetings are not public meetings. I think that's the misunderstanding.
Yeah, they're not a public meeting. It's just when we have questions, it's when we have questions to address.
I thought we were able to come to you guys if we had questions.
Email or
Didn't know that.
notify, notify. I
I didn't know
think
that.
that
I thought you guys
for
were having
now,
a meeting.
the auditor or the assessor would notify them here at the
Yeah.
building. I think that's probably what's right. Thanks, Jim. Didn't you volunteer?
I'm pretty sure Sherry did, right? She's got it.
I didn't know it was.
But we're just gonna meet as required. I think we had suggested that from a procedural standpoint, that there be at least 4 meetings a year. I think that's what we
Right, we
said.
determined that we would have,
But aside from that, it would just be as we need to.
right, quarterly meetings, and then if there was an issue that a department head had with a certain, something that had to do with payroll or an employee, then we would have a special meeting that was between our quarterly meetings.
So we can't come to your quarterly meeting? Isn't that kind of
There
redundant
are-
to have more meetings than you need? I mean, couldn't we just come to your quarterly meeting in a public comment type area?
It's not a public.
Or
meeting.
not public, but, well, I guess.
I think it would be that we would hold a special meeting for anything that came up that.
If you had enough requests
That
through
that
email
would,
kind of thing.
then it still would not be public, but the department head would be invited into the meeting.
So I have a question related to that. I like processes, and a year from now, somebody will forget the process. So can that live somewhere? Can we get that in writing somewhere? So a year from now, somebody knows who to contact.
We're this close to having that.
An ordinance.
Yeah,
When we got built an ordinance.
Okay,
it'll be actually all in.
because I'll forget.
Yeah, there'll be an ordinance. I did.
Let's just be real.
I don't know whether, did you get a copy? We were gonna put together, it's got some stuff that the commissioners need to work on.
We did, I received a copy we sent to Jim.
Okay, so that's all in the works. I mean, that'd be an ordinance, and maybe we could get that done. Can we get that done before the end of the year? It'll be done for the year. After the first.
So we just need to email Sherry or right now?
Yeah.
For now.
good enough? Yes, April?
All right, I figure if I have to attend one of these meetings, I'll let my voice be heard. We've been in this fight for 2 years, because right after the election of Trump, the wind turbine driveways went in Madison Township, and everyone became aware and started doing the research on industrial wind turbines, and in the last 10 years, we've learned a lot. There's a ton of research out there about the concerns, and a lot of wind turbine industrial facilities have been set up throughout the state. We've learned a lot. And so, in this process, people in our community discovered that we were determined to be an economic revitalization area. Already done, we weren't notified, somehow we missed it. And so, I'd be curious if any businesses have actually taken advantage of this already, other than the designation with the hope of, that at the time, without the understanding of what we know about industrial wind turbines now, if any other businesses have benefited from an ERA and have taken advantage of tax abatement. So the citizens were aware. Mark, thank you for being aggressive on this. I wish we'd done this 2 years ago. You've been the voice of the rural citizens and the over 1,200 citizens who have signed a desire to not have industrial wind turbines in the county. Oh, sorry, 1,600, thank you for the update. So, thank you for speaking on behalf of those people. And so, I commend the fight that you had, where you won, and Mr. Smith, you won. Both of you have spoken that you don't want industrial wind turbines. And in fact, I think I've heard that things have been done to stop them. So I hope this is one of those things that's in the process. So as far as revitalization, I've heard that there'll be 3 to maybe 15 jobs that would be brought to the county with industrial wind turbines. You're going to lose more families than that. But with those families, you're going to lose children, you're going to lose tax money for each of your schools, and we have $100 million in bonds for our schools. You cannot afford to lose families. And you're not going to draw a ton more families with those few jobs. So please consider that. The other thing that's a concern among many of us here, if you notice, most people have jobs. And that makes it really hard to attend these meetings. So I strongly encourage you to consider having a meeting in the evening so the citizens can attend. Because it's your taxpayers that are working. And so we need those people to hear and have their voice heard, those 1,600 people. So I hope this courthouse is crowded if you don't reschedule for an evening time. And I hope those halls are filled, but most of them are working. So please consider that and look at all aspects of that. So I hope when you have this meeting, I hope you do discuss who has taken advantage of the tax abatements with the ERA. It's been 5 years. I know as a small business we have not. And I look down the road at those other businesses, I don't think that either. And that's just one little road in this massive area. Thank you.
Thanks, April.
Terry, I have a question.